Hey guys, a few months ago I put together a video called What the Hell Happened to the Real Estate Market in Southwest Florida. It was very early in the season. I could see some signs going on that weren't very positive. Well, now we're at the very tail end of the season, so we're in the first week of May. Generally, our season ends no later than the end of May. But there have been a lot of reports that have come out that give us a better picture of kind of where we are at this particular point in time. So I put together a slideshow that will show you these particular reports, as well as I'm going to add some additional data that we track here inside of my market report, which puts it specifically related to Gulf access properties, primarily in the Cape Coral area. So I hope this is informative. Let me know. I'm going to call this one, What the Hell Happened to the Real Estate Market in Southwest Florida, Part 2. A friend recently sent me this particular article talking about the 40 major metropolitan areas where inventory increased the most. As you can see here, Punta Gorda was number one in the entire United States as its inventory increased 149%. You can see number two in the country was Cape Coral at 103%, and also in the same area was Northport, Sarasota, Bradenton area at 81%. Another friend sent me this particular one. It's actually on Twitter. This is a map of Cape Coral. It's near us. You can see down here the Pelican area. The title of it's We're Going to Need Maps of What Is Not for Sale in Cape Coral Soon. This has already gotten 2.1 million views on Twitter/X with 257 reposts and 3,600 likes. I had another friend send me this one. It's entitled The 10 Metros Where Sellers Are Slashing Listing Prices the Most. So it's a little misleading with the slashing part of it, but I'll explain that further. But in the particular article, he's blaming increase in mortgage rates. He says it means two things for prospective home buyers. First, that more sellers are likely to slash their listing prices to attract buyers. And secondly, that buyers now hold an advantage over sellers. I definitely agree the last part. It's definitely moved into a strong buyer's market from that particular point in time. He also goes on in the last paragraph. He talks about my advice to sellers is to price your home fairly. The comp from 6 months ago don't exist now. And if you're a buyer, you know the odds of getting an offer accepted below market price is very, very high. That's probably a very true statement as well. Now let's see which Florida cities fared in the top 10 in the U.S. as far as listing prices having been reduced. The state of Florida actually had 5 of the 10 cities in the U.S. where listings were being dropped. So I've gone ahead and drawn out the 5 metro areas here. The first metro area is the Jacksonville, Florida, and it tied for 8th in the United States. Now, 33% of the listings had done at least one price reduction. It doesn't mean they were reduced by 33%. It just means 1/3 of them had at some point reduced the listing price. Now let's take a look at Orlando. It rated number 6 in the United States, where 35% of the listings had at least one price reduction. As we continue south, let's take a look at Tampa. It was the number 2 city, as it had 45% of the listings had some price reduction. As we keep inching further south, we see that the Northport, Sarasota, Florida area was actually number 1 in the country, with 48% of the listings having at least one price reduction. Now getting closer to home, Cape Coral, we finished 4th in the United States with 41% of the properties having a price reduction. And take a look at the picture they used. It's actually of Tarpon Landings right here where we are. So hopefully that's going to bring us some buyers. So half of the top 10 cities in the U.S. where listing prices have been reduced are all in the state of Florida. Is this just a coincidence, or is there a specific reason as to why? I don't know the answer to that specific question, but I have found a very unique overlap. I'd like your thoughts on this. Remember this, just a little over a year and a half ago, Hurricane Ian, a 1 in 500 year storm, hit through Florida. So I took the path of Hurricane Ian. I drew it over the cities that had the big price reduction. As you can see, the funnel of the hurricane hit all 5 of these cities very hard. So I ask you, is it coincidence that half of the top 10 cities where listing prices have been reduced are in the state of Florida, and that those are all in the path of Hurricane Ian that hit us 18 months ago? I'm referring to this as a real estate tsunami. We had a weak U.S. economy, high inflation rate, unprecedented rise in interest rates, unprecedented rise in flood insurance, unprecedented rise in hazard insurance. The above 2 points are really increasing the condo monthly assessment. Add in a once in 500 year hurricane event. Plus, I think the impactful upcoming presidential election is causing a lot of people to put off their decision to buy. I don't think we can undersell the overall impacts of a 1 in 500 year hurricane like Hurricane Ian. These are the effects just in Lee County alone. 17,000 homes either totally destroyed at 50% plus and had to be torn down and rebuilt. 1,500 commercial businesses in the same category. Think hotels and restaurants. We're still down 20% plus in hotel space just in Lee County. So there's been less places for people to stay over the last year and a half. I think that's had a drastic effect on our sales here. And when you apply this to the overall Hurricane Ian path, it has had quite a big effect on the state of Florida. It's not all gloom and doom. All the stats that I've shown you previously were based upon the overall houses in each particular market. Here on my market report, I cover very closely really the Gulf access homes, primarily in the Cape Coral area. So I took a look at those stats and I found some things that were kind of interesting. So let's take a look at those. In June of last year, I started putting together my newsletter and market report where I tracked the Gulf access properties in the Cape Coral area. Here you can see in June of 2023, start of that month, there were 851 Gulf access properties. 109 of those were sold, giving the remaining inventory 742 homes. The percentage of homes that sold were 12.81%, which means there were 7.81 months of inventory. In other words, it would take almost 8 months to sell the remaining inventory at that particular rate if nothing else was added on at that point in time. Anything 6 months or more is considered a buyer market, so we were already in a buyer's market. But if you take a look at the months of inventory, it jumped to 11.34 in August of 23. In November, it was all the way up to 13.41. The high was in January, where it jumped almost to 15. It was 14.67 at that particular point in time. Since then, it's trended down. We're now at 8.63 months of inventory, which is a little less than we were a little bit more than we were in June of last year. However, the overall remaining inventory went from 742 to 1182, so that's roughly a 60% gain there. The last stat I wanted to highlight here is that since June of last year, the average Gulf access property is sold for $848,440. It's kind of jumped around between the low 800s to the mid 900s. But overall, there's not a bad trend where we're seeing it go down dramatically at this particular point in time. Well, that's my take a look at the market today. I would appreciate you if you would reply back to my email. Let me know your thoughts. Have a great day. Bye. As the pink stork is fading off into the sunset, I need you to do two things for yourselves. First of all, make sure to subscribe below to my YouTube video channel so you get all the important real estate videos for Southwest Florida. You can also sign up for my Living the Salt Life monthly magazine, which will give you a lot of great hints on buying and selling real estate here in Southwest Florida. You know what to do. There's the QR code. Take your camera, do the click, sign up. I'll be glad to help you in any way I can. Hi, I'm Gary Giannoni. Come grab your slice of paradise and enjoy the salt life. Give me a call today. Area code 239-900-7373. Have an awesome day.